Hello, everyone. My name is Hector Marquez. This is an interview podcast for higher education and resource management in higher education. The class is by Dr. Holzways. The person that I decided to do the interview was Dr. Luis Lucio. He is the dean of the East Aldine Center in Lone Star College. One of the reasons why I decided to do the interview with him is because I work closely with him in regards to the promoting and working with marketing and regards to the workforce programs that we offer. So he works very closely with community leaderships, institutions that that know the trends that we are promoting, and he makes a lot of decisions based on the programs that we have and we offer, and depending on the specifications of the students and the companies. So the first question that I asked him was, what recent decision have you made that had an impact on finances, and how did you assess the impact of your decision? So he explained to me that over the time that he is being the dean, he has different components, he has different partnerships that have impact in the cost of the events that we create and that we collaborate with organizations along with our community. So he really explained that the town center occupants really help each other with this East Aldine Center to lower the cost of the event. So that, to me, that was a very efficient way to cut the cost and increase profits, or to display working on a specific event. Describe the toughest budget issue you have ever faced. That was the next question that I asked him, and he explained to me that one thing is to having to cut a lot of resources, but the worst thing that you can do as a leader is to actually cut personnel, because it is, he mentioned that it is the most important asset that any higher education institution can have, is their faculty and staff. So he tries not to go to that step. That will be the last step that he will ever face as a leader. And by describing how you decrease or expenses or increase revenue, he mentioned that by looking at budgets from previous events or previous projects, that will likely give the same result, a positive result to the cost analysis, and verify the potential in savings, and the overall budget will create a beneficial campaign or strategy to implement into the future revenue. By explaining the political pressures that you face in terms of financial management and budgeting issues. So as mentioned before, he is the dean of the East Aldine. Although we are divided into colleges and centers, he is responsible for different programs. So definitely being a dean at a community center, there are many political pressures from different avenues, the college, the community, school districts, and students, etc. When managing all finances, all those different facets must be taken into account to ensure the solvent budgetary process. What he explained to me is that he definitely looks into the what the other centers are doing, and how can one project, or how the attachment from one specific program can be done to a different program, following the guidelines, so we can be up to date with all the programs and the equipment. So what advice would you give to a new and mid-level professionals about learning how to make budgetary decisions and being successful at it? He gave me advice to me personally to always put the personnel and staff up front. They should be the most important asset that you will be taking care of in the community college and higher education institutions. But to ensure that you are frugal with, and that you are making the best cost effective decision, that you will help that will help you and your organization reach the goal that you want. So to be careful, it is better to be careful than sorry. He mentioned as well to me. So how do you prepare for unforeseen expenditures? That was something that we talk about it, and he mentioned that as much as precaution that you can take, it's always to have a savings account and to always have a plan B. So always look for a solution to a problem that have you can work scenarios towards that problem. What is an example of a win-win situation? You negotiate it. Again, the collaborations that we have as an institution with different companies and different organizations outside the education. So, for example, a partnership with a oil and gas company that will provide 50% of the cost into the equipment, and they will get qualified, candidates for employment opportunities after. That's a win-win negotiation that we always do at Lone Star College. What are the biggest budget expenses that as a dean have? So the purchase of equipment will be the most expensive program. With the second most expensive issue purchase that we have, the first one will be personnel and staff to maintain the programs running, but the equipment is something that we are always looking to partner with other organizations so they can pay for at least half or the majority of the program. The lessons that I learned from my interview with Dr. Lucio, is the most important assets will always be your personnel, so it is also the most expensive. A symbiotic relationship between higher education and institutions and local businesses community is essential to reduce costs. Preparation and comparison past projects will provide a good background to do new projects. Thank you so much, and you have a good night. Bye bye.